I thought I knew my grandmother Aurora like the back of my hand. Her blue eyes sparkled like a summer sky on a cloudless day, and her hugs could heal any pain, no matter how deep. She was the epitome of wisdom, joy, and love, an open book whose life seemed as transparent as the crystal-clear streams that ran through our family's old homestead. But little did I know that was only a facade, a carefully crafted narrative that hid the most extraordinary secrets. As I sit here surrounded by the memories of a lifetime, I am reminded of the countless afternoons we spent together, her voice weaving tales of love, loss, and resilience. Her laughter still echoes in my mind, a melancholic melody that brings a smile to my face and a warmth to my heart. Yet, it's the silence that followed her passing that has been the most deafening. The silence that was shattered the moment I stumbled upon a worn leather diary, tucked away in an old wooden box that had been collecting dust in the attic for decades. The diary itself was a relic of another era, its yellowed pages whispering secrets to me as I gingerly opened the cover. The handwriting within was unmistakable, Aurora's elegant script that had filled countless pages of notes, recipes, and letters over the years. But this was different. This was intimate, a window into a world I had never known existed. As I began to read, a shiver ran down my spine. The words on those pages painted a picture of a life I thought I knew, yet was utterly foreign. It was then that I realized I had been living a lie, or rather a half-truth. The woman I admired, the woman I loved, had been living a double life, one that was both forbidden and filled with sacrifice. The discovery of that diary was like uncovering a piece of our family's hidden history, a history that had been buried beneath the surface of our everyday lives. As I invite you to join me on this journey, I warn you, the revelations that follow will challenge everything you thought you knew about love, family, and the power of the human spirit. We will uncover the secrets of an extraordinary life, a life marked by a forbidden love and a lost treasure that spanned generations. It's a story of sacrifice, of resilience, and of the enduring power of love to transcend time and circumstance. Through the pages of Aurora's hidden diary, I will take you on a journey that will leave you questioning the very fabric of our reality. It's a story that will make you laugh, cry, and perhaps even reevaluate the people you thought you knew. So let us begin as we unravel the mysteries hidden within the worn leather cover of Grandma Aurora's diary, and discover the extraordinary life she led, a life that will forever change the way we see ourselves, our families, and the world around us. In the late 1930s, nestled in the heart of America, lay the small rural town of Willow Creek, a place where time seemed to stand still, where the air was sweet with the scent of blooming wildflowers, and the sky was a canvas of endless blue. It was here, in this idyllic setting, that our story begins with a young Aurora, a girl whose life was a tapestry of simplicity and joy, yet subtly woven with threads of restlessness and longing. Aurora lived with her family in a modest farmhouse on the outskirts of town, surrounded by fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. Her parents, hardworking and kind, tilled the land with love and care, instilling in their children the value of hard work and the beauty of nature. Thomas, her older brother, was a dreamer, with a passion for flying that burned bright in his heart. He would often gaze up at the sky, watching the planes soar overhead, his imagination taking flight on the wings of those distant birds. Then there was Lily, her younger sister, a gentle soul with a poet's heart, who saw the world through a lens of wonder and magic. Aurora, with her love for reading and her vivid imagination, was the bridge between her siblings, a connector of dreams and realities. She would spend hours under the shade of an ancient oak, lost in the pages of a good book, her mind wandering to far-off lands and fantastical worlds. Yet, despite the peace and contentment that filled her days, there was a whisper of discontent, a sense that there was more to life than the rolling hills and familiar routines of Willow Creek. The days began before dawn, with the family heading out to tend to the fields, the morning light creeping over the horizon like a gentle awakening. School days were filled with laughter and learning, the sound of children's voices carrying on the wind. Nights were a time for stargazing, for lying on a blanket outside, watching the stars twinkle to life, and dreaming of the infinite possibilities that lay beyond the reaches of their small town. In this serene and loving environment, Aurora grew, a young woman with a heart full of hope and a soul that yearned for something more. It was a feeling she couldn't quite articulate, a gentle stirring that hinted at the adventures and challenges that lay ahead. As she wrote in her small notebook, her thoughts and dreams began to take shape, a reflection of the world around her, and the world within. The simplicity of life in Willow Creek was a blessing, a shield that protected them from the storms that raged beyond their horizon. But as the seasons passed and the winds of change began to whisper through the trees, Aurora couldn't shake the feeling that her life, like the world around her, was on the cusp of transformation. Little did she know, the peaceful days of her youth were but a prelude to a journey that would test her courage, her heart, and her very soul. As the summer of 1939 waned, the tranquility of Willow Creek began to fray at the edges. News of European tensions seeped into our quiet lives like the slow-moving tendrils of a fog. At first it was just whispers, rumors of a war brewing across the seas. Thomas, ever the adventurer, would excitedly share tales of mobilizing armies and heroic deeds, his eyes aglow with a thrill-seeking fervor. But our parents' faces grew increasingly worried. Their brows furrowed as they spoke in hushed tones of rationing, of shortages, and the uncertain future. Aurora, too, began to sense the unease that settled over our small town like a shroud. She'd sit by the radio, listening to the solemn voices of news broadcasters, her brow furrowed in concern. I recall the evening she first confided in me about her growing unease, her words tumbling out in a rush as she struggled to make sense of the world's descent into chaos. The peace she once knew was unraveling thread by thread. It was on one of those warm, languid evenings, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across our quiet streets, that we saw him. A young man in a military uniform, his eyes scanning the town with an air of purpose. He was tall, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through you. There was something about him that didn't quite fit, a sense of mystery that clung to him like a shadow. Aurora and I exchanged a glance, our hearts skipping a beat in unison. There was something about this stranger that drew us in, a sense of intrigue that was impossible to ignore. As he walked towards us, his eyes locked onto Aurora's, and I swear I saw a spark of recognition, a flicker of connection that seemed to arc between them like electricity. His name was Elias, and he claimed to be on leave from his unit, seeking refuge in our quiet town. But there was something about him that didn't add up, a sense of secrets kept in stories untold. As he walked alongside Aurora, their conversation flowing easily, I couldn't shake the feeling that this stranger was carrying a burden, a weight that threatened to upend the fragile peace of our lives. The air seemed to vibrate with tension, the shadows deepening as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. It was as if the very fabric of our reality was shifting, ever so subtly, to accommodate this enigmatic stranger and the secrets he brought with him. And Aurora, with her romantic dreams and her growing awareness of the world's brutal realities, was about to find herself drawn into a web of danger and forbidden love, one that would change the course of her life forever. As the summer days shortened, Aurora and Elias's clandestine meetings grew more frequent, their love blossoming like a sunflower in secret. They'd steal away to the old barn, its wooden beams creaking softly in the breeze, or walk hand in hand through fields of golden sunflowers, their whispers carried away by the rustling leaves. In these moments the war seemed far away, and all that mattered was the solace they found in each other's arms. Elias's eyes, a deep shade of blue, sparkled with a fire that drew Aurora in, a flame that flickered with a sense of danger and adventure. As they talked, she'd learn about his dreams of a world where knowledge and innovation could bring people together, not tear them apart. His passion was infectious, and Aurora found herself swept up in his vision, her heart beating faster with every passing moment. But Elias's presence in Willow Creek wasn't mere coincidence. One evening as they sat together on a weathered bench, watching the stars twinkle to life, he revealed the truth. He was a German scientist, a deserter who'd fled the Nazi regime's atrocities. His mission, to find a powerful encryption device, an artifact that could change the course of the war. Aurora's eyes widened as she listened, her mind reeling with the weight of his words. The artifact, Elias explained, was hidden in a secret labyrinth beneath the old church, a labyrinth crafted by his mentor, a brilliant clockmaker. As they made their way through the dusty passages, the air thick with cobwebs and the scent of aged stone, Aurora felt her heart pounding in her chest. She was now an active participant in Elias's mission, her love for him entwined with her desire to protect her family and community. The Nazi agents, disguised as civilians, began to appear in Willow Creek, their eyes scanning the streets with an unnerving intensity. Aurora noticed the strange looks, the whispered conversations that ceased when she approached. The once peaceful town was now a hotbed of tension, and she felt the noose tightening around Elias's neck. In the silence of her room, Aurora turned to her diary, the pages a sanctuary where she could record her fears and her love. She wrote of Elias, of the danger that surrounded him, and of her growing determination to stand by his side. The diary became her confidant, a witness to her transformation from a passive observer to an active participant in the resistance. As the stakes rose, Aurora's courage grew, her resourcefulness honed by the need to protect Elias and the artifact. She knew that the labyrinth beneath the church held secrets and dangers, but she was ready to face them, her heart fueled by love and her spirit driven by a sense of purpose. The diary pages filled with her thoughts, a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice in the face of overwhelming odds. As Aurora's heart pounded in her chest, she followed Elias through the winding tunnels of the underground labyrinth, the air thick with anticipation and fear. The clockmaker's final puzzle lay before them, a complex mechanism that required precision and patience. Elias's hands moved swiftly, his eyes locked on the intricate gears. As Aurora held her breath, her senses heightened. The sound of dripping water echoed through the passage, a steady heartbeat that seemed to synchronize with their own. With a soft click, the mechanism released, and a hidden door swung open, revealing a small chamber. Inside, on a pedestal of black stone, lay the artifact, a small crystal orb that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Aurora gasped, her eyes meeting Elias's in a moment of shared wonder. But their triumph was short-lived. The sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, echoed through the tunnel, growing louder with each passing moment. Nazi agents, their faces twisted with malice, emerged from the shadows, guns drawn. Elias pushed Aurora behind him, his eyes flashing with determination. "Go," he whispered as he stepped forward to face their pursuers. The ensuing battle was a blur of chaos and fear, the sound of gunshots and screams filling the air. Aurora, her heart racing, used her knowledge of the labyrinth to evade their attackers, dodging and weaving through the narrow passages. Elias fought beside her, his movements swift and deadly, but they were vastly outnumbered. As the agents closed in, Elias was cornered, his back against the wall. Aurora, desperate to save him, launched herself at their attackers, but it was too late. Elias, wounded and exhausted, looked at her with a deep sadness in his eyes. "Aurora," he whispered, his voice barely audible, "take the artifact. You must keep it safe. It's our only hope." With a final glance, Elias made a desperate lunge at the agents, buying Aurora just enough time to grab the artifact and flee. As she ran, the sound of gunshots and Elias's cries echoing through the passage, she felt a searing pain in her heart. She stumbled, her vision blurring, but she refused to give up. The labyrinth seemed to stretch on forever, the darkness closing in around her. But she pushed on, driven by her grief and her determination. Finally, she emerged into the cool night air, gasping for breath. The artifact clutched in her hand, she looked down at it, her eyes filling with tears. The diary, once a simple record of her life, had become a testament to the love and sacrifice that Elias had shown her. As she walked away from the labyrinth, the weight of the artifact and the memory of Elias's sacrifice settling upon her, Aurora knew that her life would never be the same. She had been given a new mission, a new purpose, and she was determined to see it through, no matter the cost. As I emerged from the labyrinth, the darkness seemed to swallow me whole, like a shroud cast over the world. The rain lashed down, stinging my skin, and I shivered not just from the cold, but from the weight of what I had just witnessed. Elias, my love, my guiding light in the shadows, was gone. I clutched the artifact to my chest, its smooth surface a cold comfort against the turmoil that churned within me. The walk home was a blur, my feet carrying me forward on autopilot, while my mind reeled with the memories of Elias's final moments. I recalled the way he smiled at me even in death, the way his eyes seemed to hold 1,000 promises, and the way his voice whispered my name one last time. The diary, now my sole confidant, lay hidden in my pocket, its pages whispering secrets and sorrows that I dared not share with anyone. As I entered my home, the familiar warmth and light seemed like a distant dream. My family, oblivious to the storm that raged within me, greeted me with concern and curiosity. "Aurora, where have you been? We were worried sick," my mother exclaimed, her voice a gentle probe into the fog that had enveloped me. I forced a smile, a fragile thing that threatened to shatter at any moment. I got lost in the woods. I didn't mean to worry you. The days that followed were a haze of grief and deception. I played the part of the distraught young woman, shocked by Elias's accidental death, while secretly, I carried the weight of our shared mission. The artifact, now a tangible connection to Elias, pulsed with an otherworldly energy, a reminder of the promise I had made to him. I pored over his notes and diagrams, seeking to understand the purpose of this mysterious object and the legacy he had entrusted to me. In the silence of my room by candlelight, I began to study the artifact, my fingers tracing the intricate patterns etched into its surface. The diary, now my constant companion, became a repository for my sorrow, my anger, and my determination. I wrote of Elias, of our love, of our dreams, and of the burden I now carried. The words flowed like tears, a cathartic release that allowed me to confront the depth of my emotions. As I navigated the labyrinth of my grief, a nascent resolve began to take shape within me. I would honor Elias's memory, fulfill his mission, and uncover the secrets of the artifact. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was no longer alone. The diary, Elias's legacy, and the artifact itself would guide me, urging me forward, even in the darkest of times. In the local library, I began my solitary research, poring over dusty tomes and yellowed manuscripts, seeking clues to unlock the mysteries of the artifact. The librarian, a kind-eyed woman with a warm smile, noticed my intensity, my focus, and nodded sympathetically. "You're searching for something, aren't you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my eyes welling up with tears. "I'm searching for answers," I replied, my voice barely audible. And in that moment I knew I had found a new purpose, a new reason to keep moving forward, no matter the cost. As I reflect on Grandma Aurora's life, I see a young woman transformed by the trials she faced. After leaving Willow Creek, she settled in a larger city, shrouded in anonymity. Her modest apartment, with its simple furnishings and few decorations, became a refuge from the world. Yet, it was here that she poured all her energy into understanding the artifact, Elias's legacy, now her burden and her mission. Aurora spent countless hours in libraries and archives, poring over dusty tomes and yellowed documents. Elias's diary was her constant companion, guiding her through the labyrinth of codes and ciphers that shrouded the artifact's true purpose. She sought out experts, consulting with them discreetly, always mindful of the Nazi agents who might still be searching for her. As she studied, Aurora began to grasp the artifact's immense power. It was more than a device for encrypting messages. It was a tool of intelligence, capable of deciphering enemy codes and predicting strategic movements. With this realization, her determination hardened into a resolve that would carry her through the darkest of times. Aurora's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. From a grieving young woman, she evolved into a resourceful and capable individual, driven by her promise to Elias. She developed skills in observation, discretion, and counterintelligence, becoming a self-taught agent. I recall her telling me about the time she deciphered a coded message from a seemingly innocuous letter. The words, once jumbled and meaningless, revealed a crucial piece of information about enemy troop movements. Her newfound abilities were put to the test in the bustling streets of the city. Aurora learned to blend into the crowds, to notice the telltale signs of surveillance, and to evade detection. I remember her describing a tense encounter at a train station, where she identified a suspicious individual who seemed to be tracking her. With her heart racing, she subtly changed her route, losing the would-be follower in the labyrinth of city streets. Despite her growth and newfound skills, Aurora's solitude was a heavy burden. The weight of her secret life, the constant threat of discovery, and the memory of Elias's sacrifice took their toll. There were moments when the loneliness seemed overwhelming, when the danger appeared too great to bear. Yet she persevered, fueled by her unwavering determination. The Nazi threat was ever present, a shadow that loomed over her every move. Agents still searched for the artifact, and Aurora knew she had to remain vigilant. One misstep, one careless mistake could mean capture or worse. I see her sitting in her modest apartment, the artifact safely hidden, yet her mind racing with the possibilities of danger, her heart forever bound to the memory of Elias and the mission they shared. In these moments, I see the depth of Grandma Aurora's courage, a courage born of love, loss, and a steadfast commitment to a cause greater than herself. Her journey, though fraught with peril, was also one of hope and resilience, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. As the war finally drew to a close, Aurora felt a profound sense of relief wash over her. The artifact, once a burden and a beacon of hope, had played a crucial role in the Allied forces' victory. Her bravery and quick thinking had helped transmit crucial intelligence, frustrating enemy plans and contributing to strategic victories. The quiet satisfaction of having fulfilled her mission brought a sense of peace she had not known in years. With the war behind her, Aurora sought a new beginning. She returned to a peaceful setting, dedicating herself to community building and supporting war-affected families. Her experiences had given her a unique perspective, and she used this to help others, becoming a pillar of strength and wisdom in her community. The artifact, once a symbol of danger and uncertainty, was now a cherished reminder of Elias and her past. She carefully stored it in a beautiful music box, a tangible connection to the love and sacrifice they had shared. As she wound the music box, the soft melody filled the air, transporting her back to a time of turmoil and transformation. Years passed, and Aurora evolved into the wise, loving grandmother the narrator knew. Her past was a part of her, but it no longer defined her present struggles. She had lived a life of extraordinary experiences and profound sacrifices, but it was her kindness, empathy, and generosity that had earned her a special place in the hearts of those around her. The narrator, looking back, began to understand that Aurora's seemingly simple life was built upon a foundation of courage, resilience, and determination. The diary, now a treasured family heirloom, revealed the depth of her character, a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice. As the narrator sat with her grandmother in the garden, watching children play, she felt a deep sense of connection to the woman who had shaped her life. Aurora's eyes sparkled with wisdom, her smile warm and inviting. In this moment, the narrator knew that she had been given a precious gift, a legacy of love, a story of resilience, and a grandmother who had lived a life worth remembering. The music box, now a symbol of peace and remembrance, sat on a nearby table, its soft melody a reminder of the journey that had brought them to this moment. As the narrator listened to her grandmother's stories, she felt a sense of awe and reverence for the woman who had lived a life of extraordinary beauty and complexity. And in that moment, she knew that she would carry her grandmother's legacy forward, sharing the story of Grandma Aurora's hidden diary with generations to come. As I sit here, surrounded by the memories of a life well lived, I find myself reflecting on the diary's significance. It's more than just a historical record. It's a map to my grandmother Aurora's soul. Reading her words, penned in secret, has changed my perception of her in ways I never thought possible. The woman I thought I knew, with her warm smile and twinkling eyes, was only a glimpse of the extraordinary person she truly was. I recall the stories she used to tell me as a child, tales of fairies and heroes, of magic and bravery. I realize now that those stories were metaphors for her own life, a heroic journey that she lived in secret. The artifact, the missions, the love, and the loss. It was all part of a larger narrative, one that she lived with courage and conviction. Aurora's legacy is not just the artifact or her secrets. It's the silent strength she embodied, the wisdom she shared through her stories, and the unconditional love she gave to those around her. Her life was a tapestry of complexity and beauty, woven with threads of joy and sorrow, of triumph and defeat. And yet, it's precisely this complexity that makes her story so inspiring. As I look back on my own life, I see parallels between Aurora's struggles and triumphs and my own journey. I realize that her experiences continue to inspire and guide me, even when I didn't know it. Her story has given me a deeper understanding of life and courage, and for that, I am eternally grateful. The diary has become a personal treasure, a guide that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. It's a reminder that our stories, no matter how hidden or secret, have the power to inspire and transform others. Aurora's story has shown me that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always a way forward. As I close this chapter of my journey, I want to leave you with a universal message. Our stories, no matter how ordinary they may seem, are worth sharing. They have the power to connect us, to inspire us, and to guide us. So I encourage you to discover your own hidden stories, to share them with others, and to let them guide you on your own journey. Just as Aurora's story has become a part of me, I hope that your stories will become a part of those around you, inspiring a ripple effect of love, courage, and hope that will continue to grow and spread. As we close the chapter on Grandma Aurora's remarkable story, we're reminded that life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. Her journey, hidden in plain sight, teaches us that courage, love, and resilience can overcome even the darkest of times. The discovery of her diary and the secrets it held serves as a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice. If Grandma Aurora's story has resonated with you, then its purpose has been fulfilled. Her legacy continues through you, and it's up to each of us to carry the torch of hope, kindness, and compassion. As you reflect on her story, remember that you too have a unique narrative to share, one that can inspire and uplift others. Now we'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to share your thoughts. What do you think was the most remarkable aspect of Grandma Aurora's story? How has her journey inspired you to reevaluate your own life and challenges? Leave a comment below, and let's continue the conversation. Before you go, if you've been inspired by Grandma Aurora's story, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more uplifting tales of hope and resilience. Share this story with someone you care about, and let's spread the ripple effect of kindness and compassion. As we part ways, I leave you with a question. What secret do you think Grandma Aurora held dearest to her heart? One that allowed her to face adversity with such courage and love? Share your thoughts and let's keep the conversation going.